Well, hello and welcome to our Subconscious Speaks. My name's Don Robert, and together with my amazing and talented partner,
Tina Orlando.
we are Tina Orlando and Dawn. And Tina and I have been going through a lot, like a lot of people in Southern California. This past week has been very trying. I just got another alert from Ventura County that they are going to possibly shut off my power all next week again. Like
Right.
it's bananas. This
Yes.
onslaught of fear and negativity. So I started to talk to Tina to see how she's doing, and I thought, well, hang on, let me press record because that's what we're doing here, right?
Yeah.
We very
Hmm.
conversational. Our podcast. It's really the collective energy and shared experiences that Tina and I have had since we met at HMI, Hypnosis Motivation Institute, where we both studied and are both, as you can tell by the award in her background, both award-winning clinical hypnotherapists. So,
Wow.
um, we would talk for hours and hours and hours. Like, I want to say, like, we had a pretty good run of at least 3.5, 4 years where we talked every day.
Yeah.
I think we communicate in some form or fashion every day. So I started to ask Tina how she's doing because she was on the cusp of being evacuated. Like, did you literally pack a bag?
I packed many bags. I packed many bags. My car's been packed for a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, on and
Okay.
off. The first evacuation, where it says, ready, set, go. If you're in the set, meaning you're in the evacuation set bracket, that you should have your stuff ready to go at a moment's notice.
Right.
So that's where I've been sitting for the last 3 or 4 days. And it's been a little intense. Like you're constantly looking outside to see the plumes of smoke. Are they coming
Yeah.
close? At one point, I could see the fire up on the hill, which is it is a terrifying thing to see that from such a distance. Like you can see
Yeah.
the flames. Um, I can only imagine what it's like to be, in actual on the hillside of Encino or, in Brentwood or, Studio City, Sherman Oaks, those areas. That has to be terrifying. I mean, I'm just lucky enough to be on that actual border. So, but still, I mean, you're living with the idea of I have to pack up what means most and get the
Right.
hell out of here.
Yeah. So this is the second round of the immense amount of threat to
Mm,
our where we live. I remember and I feel like it was only a month or two ago. It wasn't like last year. Well, yeah, technically it would be last year, but um, and I remember I shared this with you that I like mentally, for the first time in my life of living in California, mentally prepared for a second. Like
mhm,
I didn't obsess over it, but I
mhm,
mentally made a list of what
mhm.
the hell would I even grab.
Yeah, yeah,
This time, uh, when you're out power on the third day and it's not getting much better and the winds are shifting daily, hourly, I literally mentally packed my large travel suitcase and my smaller one,
right.
and it was literally I was so I I tend to deal with this type of stuff with a little bit of humor because I can like just get way too involved in the negativity of it. You
Mm,
know, if you want to know more about that, you can go back and watch the Yin Yang episode. But um, so I use humor. I try it. I'd like
sometimes
to
it's
say
good.
that I'm more appropriate with it these days, but I
Get a little dark humor. It's okay.
yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I was telling a friend of mine who's another Florida Panther fan, hi Carrie, that
Oh,
like,
hi,
maybe it was
Gary.
my sister. Yeah. Oh, say hi to Carrie. Carrie, I texted Carrie yesterday thinking it was you.
Oh,
I'm like, congratulations, you got like bestie, like she got the text from the best. She's like, tell Tina I said hello. So there you go,
hi,
Carrie.
Gary.
And then my sister, so I can't remember if it's Carrier's my sister, but I was saying that my Alexander Barkov, who's the Florida Panthers captain, the jersey I wore last year when I lived in Florida for almost 3 months
Yeah.
and went to every single home game during the playoffs and
Oh
was
my
there
God.
together with my siblings and all the
Mhm.
other kind of friends of ours when the Panthers won the Stanley Cup. And yeah, so he was that jersey was on the list, and then I was like, yeah, "You've been to my house, you know how many shoes I have. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's
Mhm.
a little much, but I love shoes and sneakers, and so I was like, what would I even? And I had to like literally start. The second suitcase is for the shoes, just so we're clear.
Okay.
Shoes
Yeah.
and hats. I have a thing for
Yeah.
hats as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just packed up because when you're in the actual moment, it's just let me get the documents. Let me take the one thing that means the most to me, which would
Yeah.
be that Prince photo that's over my shoulder here.
Yeah, so your Barkov jersey is your Prince photo.
Wow. It,
Can we somehow like is it it's the sun is
yeah, you
blinding
won't
it.
be able to see it. But it is a one of a kind
Oh, you've got to
Prince
figure
photo.
out. Can you just are you on your iPad filming?
Yeah, I
Get
don't know.
up and walk us over.
I don't
Come
think you could
on. The
see
shine
it.
is too much.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me see
You
if I
can
can
do it.
tilt it.
You,
Let's see if I can tilt it. Can you
there
see
you
him?
go. There you go. Uh-huh. There he is. I mean, it's he's
Yeah.
out there in the distance, but there he is, the
Yeah.
Prince. Go
Yeah.
on.
So that's the one of a kind um
The artist formerly
Prince
known
photo.
as.
Prince photo, yes. Um that was gifted to me. And um, it was the thing, like besides my clothes, besides my shoes, it's the one thing I can't replace.
Yeah.
So it went in the car. Like it was sitting there and
Oh,
of
wow.
course,
You went
yeah,
all the way there. You were like literally
I
right.
was
So
packed.
let's back up. So Tina and I went. You heard me us talking about her son,
Yes.
who's an actor who's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. We love you, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Drew was one of the leads in a play. So we
Yes.
went to see Drew in a murder mystery masquerade party
Mm-hmm.
farce
Yes.
on New Year's Eve, which
New
was a
Year's.
blast. But then
Mm-hmm.
Friday night was opening night.
Mm-hmm.
Canyejo players,
Mm-hmm.
and he did such a great job. But Tina was everybody has been obsessively kind of on this app called Watch Duty,
Watch. Mm-hmm.
which
Yes.
tells you what zone you're in, and whoever's running this is amazing because the SCE, the Southern California Edison, is doing a horrible job. They
Oh
texted
yeah.
me telling me, "Good news, we didn't have to turn off your power on day 4 of not having power." Yeah.
Well, somebody needs to, I don't know what's happening, but they need to be a little more current because people's lives are at stake at this point.
That's a whole nother topic that what's going on behind the scenes. As I'm scrolling on social media, I'm seeing people speaking out about, I mean, the mayor is under fire, the governor is under
Absolutely.
fire. It's been
Absolutely.
this state has been mismanaged to dry
The
hydrants. What?
hydrants, yes. Reservoir is empty. When we had all that rain last year, it was shoved out into the ocean. I mean, there's so many things going on that are dysfunctional in this place that we live with such a huge population of people. This isn't, where there's only, a couple hundred people in Malibu. That's not it.
No.
There's,
Somebody was
there's
saying there's tens of
15,000 people.
thousands of buildings that have been
Uh-huh.
burnt to the ground, destroyed, schools, stores, homes. So,
Right.
we hear mostly about the Hollywood homes that have been burnt
Well,
down.
right, you hear that, but here's the idea is like, you have all these television shows and movies, and they show this beautiful clip of the PCH with all these beautiful homes right next on the sand in the ocean. Let me be the one to tell you, those homes are not there anymore.
Yeah.
It is a clear shot from PCH. You can look out to the ocean directly, where before you just saw these wonderful homes sitting there.
And from the
Those homes
backside
are
on the
gone.
roadside, not so wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't you don't realize how bad it is, and even if you watch the
Yeah.
news, you still don't get the full gist of it, that there's so
No.
many
You're
people
getting
that
what's being
are
reported is what you're getting.
Yeah, yeah. And not everybody that lives in Malibu or the Palisades is rich and wealthy and is a superstar. That's
Right,
not it. Some of those people bought those homes, 50, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. They weren't
right.
that expensive then. And they've lived there for all this time. And now they don't have their home. And these people are not 25 years old,
Yeah.
and then now they have to try and, maybe if they were lucky enough to have insurance, because a lot of those homes couldn't get fire or earthquake insurance because we do live in California.
Right.
That's a big misstep for the insurance companies. I mean, it's wrong.
Yeah. Some of the same people that I'm kind of listening to, because I listen to different sides of the story, right? And
Mhm.
so this idea of it's a comedian. I can't forget I forget his name, but outspoken guy, born and raised in California. Lee. Anyway, he was saying like
Delia.
the huh?
Is it Chris D'Elia?
No, 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 no. Kind of has a horsey kind of voice, kind of a tall guy, a Saturday Night Live guy, Norm McDonald.
Oh, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, on his podcast, just spitting the truth about the
Mm-hmm.
bureaucracy that the big bright blue state of California, especially down here in the Hollywood area, right? All those big voices for the blue
Mm-hmm.
initiatives are effing pissed.
Yeah.
And they haven't even begun to deal with the reality of trying to get a permit to rebuild.
It takes a year to get a permit.
Yeah,
There's some celebrities that they lost their homes in the Woolsey fire. It took them over a year to get a permit to remove the debris out of their swimming pools. I don't
unbelievable.
know what's happening in this state,
Yeah.
this wonderfully rich state, paradise
The management
tiled.
sucks.
Well, yes, yes, yes. The management sucks.
Oh, up
The
here though, boy, he's that pretty face on TV. Everybody loves Gavin Newsom, right? Oh,
No, we
pretty
don't.
boy. No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
no,
Gavin.
the
Sit
truth blanket
down.
has been pulled. Yeah,
Yeah, sit
you've been
down. It's
exposed.
time for you to walk
It's
out. Yeah. Yeah, it's
and
time for
he
you
was
to
being
resign.
earmarked just a few months ago as the next potential president.
People do not do it. People do not do it. Do not do it.
But again, we're back to kind of collectively this idea of the overwhelmed amount of misinformation on social media. We saw it to the umpth degree when we I was literally teaching at HMI and people were putting messages in the chat that they had to leave because they just got a message from LA Alerts to
Right.
leave, to evacuate immediately, which was an erroneous text message that went out to everyone in LA County.
Yes, it did. However, where I was, there was another fire that had popped up, the Kenneth fire,
Yes, yes.
and that then came right behind it. So you're standing in your house going, well, do I go or do I stay?
Yeah,
And you're just now like a cat on a hot tin roof, and just,
totally.
that I didn't want to chance it. I packed up the car. I left because you just don't know, because of the lack of information. Because I did get the erroneous one,
Yeah,
and then 15 minutes later, I got another one, and that's when we said that let's just go. If it's erroneous, whatever, we're better safe than sorry, and that's what people need to just start doing, is just better safe than
that's
sorry at
right.
this point.
Yeah. Tina was
Because
literally making this decision sitting next to me in the theater. Um, I think we were halfway through. Like
yeah,
they were
intermission.
intermission, and yeah, she did the right thing and left.
I
Um,
was, yeah. I mean, it's the right thing to do, but heartbroken because I
yeah,
didn't get to see the second half. But I will see it. Don't
he
worry.
did great. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, he is so
yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm super proud of him. So,
So the good news is the Palisades fire, the last time I checked was a couple hours ago on watch duty, was up to 11% contained, which is really good news. The problem is that for whatever
we
reason
have another
we're not getting
wind.
help from the rain. There's no frickin' rain, and the
Nope.
winds are picking
And
back up.
we have another wind advisory this week.
Yeah.
And, interesting thing this morning. Uh, I was standing on my balcony looking for the smoke because that's the new
That's
norm.
the new routine.
That's the new routine. I stand on the balcony and look to see, oh, is the smoke coming over this hill? Um, and I look to my left towards the mountains, and there's a plume of smoke. And I don't hear any sirens. I don't hear anything. And I stood there and I'm like, I don't hear any sirens. And it's close enough to see where the smoke was coming from. I should be able to hear sirens. This is LA. I hear sirens all
Right.
day long.
Yeah.
Didn't hear any. There was not even any traffic noise. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what world am I living in right now? So then I call 911. Now, I know, and you know that when you call 911, somebody answers, right?
Typically, yes.
Oh, no, no, no. It's please hold for the next available operator.
Oh my. Wow.
3 minutes before somebody picked up the
Oh
phone
my gosh. Wow.
on 911. And I said, look,
Huh.
I don't know if you guys know, but there's, considering everything that's going on, I'm here on this address. I can see smoke northeast of me. And I don't
Hmm.
know what's going on. She goes, well, I don't know if that's what you can see, but there has been a call made, but I'll patch you through to the fire department. Great, thank you so much. Another 3 minute wait on the fire department. Now I'm from a world, if you dial 911 and they answer instantly, don't try and hang up because they'll call you right back.
First
They know where
ring.
you are.
Yeah.
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 So, I'm on the phone with the fire department. He's like, we know there was an explosion. It was some propane tanks.
Oh
We're,
boy.
we're on scene. I was like, oh
Wow.
my God. Okay. Well, thank God. Um, and I just had to sit there and think, do you call? Do you not? I mean,
Right.
in the state that we're in, I'm calling, but that's the kind of, response time is it's 3 minutes. Hire somebody. There's lots of people out of work.
Yeah, it's back to the state and the area, the governor, right?
Yeah,
And the mismanagement of funds and the where they're spending
absolutely.
their money, and it's yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
very disturbing.
devastating. But if you need help or shelter, there's the Red Cross, there's FEMA, hoping that they will get you what you need. Um, you know, there's YMCA, there's Planet Fitness, who's opened up their doors
So many
um,
people, so many
for first.
institutions are
Yeah,
being of service. It's really quite wonderful. The on the positive side of all this, it is bringing the communities together to some degree.
Airbnb is allowing,
Yeah.
voucher. You can go and stay there if you need somewhere to stay. Uber's offering free rides. Santa Monica hotels have special rates for evacuated people. I don't know if there's any. I mean, I'm gonna guess there's a few hotels available in Santa Monica. They're right on the outside of the evacuation line, though.
Yeah, so the pier is still
You know,
there, right? The pier
I
didn't
believe
it didn't
so.
make its way all the way down to Santa Monica.
No,
It was
no.
right on the cusp though.
Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
was right there on that Arizona, California, and Wilshire.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those three streets were on the evacuation line, but I don't think it reached there. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods though, because these winds are pretty bad that are supposed to be coming in. Um,
And
so
the fortunate part is as much as it's horrible for the people that live on the ocean, the wind has been pushing the fire towards the ocean, which is not ideal for some people, but for if that thing jumps up over the so if you not don't really know the landscape in LA, it's kind of separated by mountain ranges and canyons, and so there's this big hill we call it, the hill, and on the other side of the San Fernando Valley where Tina is and where I used to live. Is where like Hollywood is, and then to the
mhm.
west of that on that hill is the Palisades, and it would be so easy for that wind to push the fire back over and it would just take down, even though I call it the concrete jungle living in the valley because it's mostly
Yeah,
concrete buildings where I always kind of felt safe.
yeah. But
Fire
there's a
doesn't
lot of
care.
brush. Fire
Fire
doesn't
doesn't care.
care,
There's lots of trees.
and
I was paying attention when I was driving home from HMI, how many actual trees are in the valley, more than
there's a
I give
lot.
credit to.
Well, and
Yeah.
eucalyptus trees, which is mostly what's along the sides of the freeways in a lot of Woodland Hills, is like, it's like gasoline
Yeah.
for fires. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I do have a friend of mine um, who lives in Malibu and literally feels like she's living on an island because the December fires, there was some burn there, and that's already been burnt, so it's saving the fire line
There's
basically
nothing left to
because
burn.
there's
Yeah.
nothing left to burn. And that's, she's a little further down in Malibu, a little deeper into it, but at least she's safe. But it's devastating, and she's heartbroken because she's living in it and can see. Um, so it's it's sad. Not to mention the Eden fire in Pasadena. If you don't
That's
know
the
where
other
Pasadena
thing that's kind of
is, the Rose
crazy
Bowl.
is all of these other fires that are popping up.
Hmm. Yeah,
So initially it was full attention on the Palisades fire, but as you've just mentioned, that Eaton fire is was out of control as well. It's insane.
yeah, yeah. And if you don't know, like I was saying, where Pasadena is, that's where the Rose Bowl is.
Yes.
Um, just giving you a point of reference. And it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. People have come up from San Diego donating time, money, food, shelter, whatever they possibly can.
So I have alerts going off on my I didn't turn my alerts off just because of the nature of the situation we're
Yes,
in, and I just got a pop up that the Eaton fire evacuation has been downgraded.
lowered.
Yeah,
Good.
which is good
Yeah,
news.
um, it's like the scene. Well, there's one in the Palisades. They have made it a little smaller, the evacuation, which is great. But they're all saying the same thing. You have a wind advisory next week. Those Santa Ana's hurricane style wind.
Hmm.
That wind picks up, it'll ignite it again. I will say this. Friday night, I could see the entire hillside on fire. It was the scariest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Um, and I was watching helicopters come in every 5 minutes,
Mm.
dropping water. And there were 10 of them, just one right after another. They're dropping water on, Mandeville Canyon and it's Encino Hills, Brentwood. Um, by Saturday morning, though, there was no more smoke. That the firemen are just, the
Unbelievable.
most amazing
Yeah.
heroes on the planet.
Yep.
Hats off to them.
Superhuman.
Yeah, I just saw fire trucks from Merced County, Cal Fire. They're unbelievable. The amount of work that those wonderful angels do, because that's what they are. I mean, I
Truly.
could not imagine doing their job.
Yeah.
They're a hero. So, um, yeah, hats off to the firemen.
Yeah. All first responders. Golly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's devastating.
That's serious
Um,
service work right there.
yeah, and I don't know if you got this weird warning that there's supposed to be an earthquake in California.
I did hear something about that a day or two
Huh.
ago. Like
Advanced
somebody
warning
posted,
system.
like, really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's an advanced warning system, but apparently California is supposed to have an earthquake. And I thought to myself, are you kidding me? Like, hopefully not.
Yeah. The
Hopefully not.
to be kind of, I hate to say stuck, but like to be in the epicenter of all of these emotions and all of these happenings. Like I've seen people starting to talk about the other side of it. Like after the, like I I I just can't even fathom what's going to happen with. Okay, let's say all the fires are out, and there's a new normal now. There's no going back. It's
The new normal is living with my important information already packed.
yeah,
And I did not know that would ever be a thing. But that is what has happened.
yeah.
Like it's sitting there,
I
ready
don't
to
know about
go.
you. Lots of mention of go bags, right? Everybody talking
I
about the
have a go
go
bag.
bag, and I've always kind of just like, ugh, the go bag. But like until you're on the verge of being evacuated, then it's like
What's a go bag?
not a bad idea after all. Yeah,
Nope, I have a go bag because of this. So
yeah,
it's been um it's been an interesting learning experience. Like you start to realize what exactly is most important. And it's really not as many
yeah.
things as you think.
No,
No. I mean, besides the Prince picture, but because it's not
obviously,
replaceable.
yeah.
Um little levity, but the rest of the stuff, like you start looking around, going, what could I live with if
Right. What's
something
important?
happens? Yeah,
What's really
and
important?
it wasn't much.
Yeah,
It was
no. I even got to a place, and some people might hear this and go, "Huh?" Like I would be okay with. I have so much stuff in this house.
yeah.
I'm. I don't want to call it forward, so I'm just going to say I'd be okay if I had to start over. I'd be
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah,
Just need my laptop, passport.
yeah. That's what I grabbed.
Yeah.
Laptop, passport,
And you
some
said documents.
paperwork.
I'm like, do I birth certificate? Nah, don't need who needs that anymore? You can get a copy
Uh,
from yeah,
well, it's all put together, and it's in a bag and it's ready to go. Because that's the world we're living in, right? Like,
yeah.
especially here, knowing that there's another wind advisory, which sounds insane, but I saw a news anchor who is from Houston, and he has done hurricanes and he's done tornadoes and all these things, and he said he's never seen anything like this. When there's water damage to a house, you can still recognize the house.
Right.
When there's fire damage to this degree, you don't even know where you're standing anymore. He's never seen anything like it. So it's been an interesting time. It's you know
Yeah, it's certainly very challenging to the mindset of your day-to-day life and like just little things like I would normally go to Trader Joe's on Sunday and stock up for the week, and I'm like I had to throw out so many things. My when you even though you I did as good well as I could not opening my fridge to get to the
right.
creamer that I like the heavy cream that I use for because I was
Mm-hmm.
using a press pot because I have a gas stove, so I was able to make coffee at least.
That's
And I had
nice.
some canned goods, so I was okay with no power. But when you start thinking about like, yeah, I probably shouldn't buy more things that could potentially go to waste again.
Right, right. I know.
Because
I
not a
went
lot of
shopping.
things freeze, thaw, and refreeze and keep their
Yeah,
consistency. Yeah.
yeah. I did the same thing. I went shopping because I don't know what's going to happen. Just bought a few things. Just I'll go back in a couple of days if I need to.
Yeah.
Just because if I'm evacuated, what's going to happen? And it sounds crazy, but you know, um, that's. I think the worst part is now that everybody, whether you were evacuated or not evacuated, if you're, a normal human being, you were affected in some way. I think emotionally.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
I
think
think
everybody's
emotionally.
feeling it, even people that don't live here.
Well, I emotionally, and that's why I'm saying it. I think everybody's just in this weird fight or flight state where it's,
But
forget to
this is
eat,
the
forget to
real
drink water.
deal. This is the like
This is
the
fight
fight or
or
flight is there
flight.
for this purpose is to survive, to
Absolutely.
protect you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Some people,
Unfortunately, go ahead.
I was gonna say, some people when they see the panic or they hear the moment where they've got to go and they run. Some of us will sit still and contemplate what we're going to do, plan it
Yeah.
out, and then move. Um,
And then there's
Either
a
way,
group of people that are in freeze, which is horrible,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is do nothing and play dead or, like just
hide,
procrastinate and imagine that it's going to be okay.
right. So some people run instantly. Some people
Yeah.
methodically, plan it all out, pick up their stuff, and go. And then there's people that absolutely are frozen in fear and cannot move. Um, you know, uh, and now you're dysregulated, so everything is
Hmm.
heightened. But I have noticed that people are a little, you know, they're at least more aware when I was out, about out and about. Um, I don't know. From what I hear, people are being much nicer, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Right.
Um, but um, it's a state that we're in right now, and it just needs to. We need to recollect ourselves.
So in the
And
spirit of that, and you know, gosh, I hope we didn't lose half our listeners because they're like, we don't need to hear their recap of what's been happening, but you know,
well, you
sharing it
might.
from our personal point of view. Hopefully, you're all still here. So I was hoping that I could ask you because you're much more actively dealing with it than I am, although I'm having my own experience with it as well.
Of course.
What could you share with us? What have you been doing to kind of keep yourself grounded, sane, so to speak, as much as possible? Because it's not like you can just wave a magic wand and like be oblivious to what's happening around us, especially if you're an empath, which I know you are. So, do you want to share with us what have you been doing to kind of help yourself?
Well, I've just been trying to really stay calm. I'm
Hmm.
not trying to drink extra caffeine to keep going. I'm
Right.
not, and on top of it, I've been fighting this cold, right, for a week,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
through
By
all
the
this.
way, Tina was sick
Sorry.
all week.
Okay. So sorry about
Although,
that,
you know,
but
if you're going to miss work because of being sick, you do so because, you know, the building that you work in has been evacuated.
it's true. It's true. Um, so, so I've been trying not to drink extra caffeine, not watching anything that's violent or it's going to agitate any of, those emotions that are already heightened.
Yeah.
Um, and trying to just kind of not watch too much news. I know it's really hard. I know we all want to know. I know, we're all scared, but give yourself a few minutes, give yourself a break, give yourself time to just breathe. Maybe, put on soft music. Maybe you go for, I know everybody is saying not to go outside, but air quality today is not that bad. If it's
Yeah.
clear out, if you want to put a mask on, okay, but I don't think you need it today because the air quality is pretty good considering, and just go outside. You don't have to walk, just go outside and just be outside for a few minutes. Um, you could meditate if you can mellow out.
What are
Um,
you doing? I appreciate that you
I'm
want to help everybody with what
cleaning
everybody
my
else should be
house.
doing. You
So I
clean?
like to I
Okay.
like to stay busy and
Yeah.
like laundry is meditative, like dishes are meditative.
Right.
These things that we do every day, um, that we kind of numb out, and that's kind of how I function in this type of situation. Otherwise, I will just pace and spin because we're all heightened.
So
So,
you shift your
um,
attention elsewhere.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because where your attention goes,
So
say what now?
your energy flows.
Amen. That's right. And that's real
Absolutely.
talk. That's real talk.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a thing. So
I
that's what
uh,
I'm trying to do.
I find it quite easy to not watch the news because I don't. I'd never
Yeah,
have been a news watcher because it's all doom and gloom. It's the bad news. There was a time in my life when somebody that I was very close to, one of the I think officially the last restaurant I ever worked at, called the Buffalo Club. It's this kind of quiet, speakeasy type, exclusive restaurant and bar down in Santa Monica. Like I
yeah.
I've been starstruck waiting on people there. Like it's like
Mm,
Spago, but not as flashy as Spago. It's more
yeah.
like, but he and I were working on a project and we were going to open like a kind of a news cafe kind of, and we are going to call it the good news. And we were going to promote the goodness and the
Mm.
good that is out there in the world because there's plenty of it.
There is.
There might even
There is.
be more than negative, but the negative is what gets publicized because that's what sells.
Yeah. Which is really sad.
It really is. And so
It's really
maybe,
sad.
just maybe, there could be a turning of the corner here of this kind of community togetherness that you're talking about, right? Where
Mhm.
people are
Yeah.
nicer and people are, I think they're just more empathetic to each other.
Yeah. Because,
Even if you don't identify as an empath, right? There's just like this
yeah.
overall feeling of fear and banding together tends to
Hmm.
help when you don't feel so
Hmm.
alone in it by yourself, even if you live by
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely, I mean, donation centers have popped up everywhere,
Yeah.
including food donations, like go and get hot food. There's one in Santa Monica. There was one in Westwood. There was
They're
one
all
in,
over. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, there's one in Canoga. Like you go all the way out there and get food for the first responders.
The other
which
thing
is
people are doing is donating to the fire stations,
absolutely.
protein bars and drinks and
Hmm.
Gatorade and like anything to help the men and
Hmm.
women that are out there risking their lives on what,
Hmm.
24, 48-hour shifts. Like I just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, firemen from Canada are flying planes, and Mexico
yep.
is sending up stuff. Um, I think sometimes people live in a bubble. They forget that there are nice people out there.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. It's nice to see the camaraderie of people, not just your neighbor, so to speak, or your
Yeah.
friends, right? That strangers and other states, as you mentioned. I
Hmm.
did hear that Oregon was trying to send down firefighters and trucks and whatnot, and they were stopped because they don't those vehicles don't pass California emissions. Yeah, talk
Because
about
we're worried about that right now.
bureaucracy bull crap. What?
Yeah, because we're that's what we're worried about is the
Yeah,
emissions of a fire truck right now. I'll take the emissions for a couple of days to.
again, who's running the state? I get it, right? I get like if you live here and work here and live and you're driving a car here, you should abide by the smog is
Mhm.
bad enough. We don't need more. But
Right.
this is a 911 situation.
Yeah, rules change when there's an emergency.
They should, yeah,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
better, right?
yeah, and if it's just it's one of those things where you see the humanity in people,
Yeah.
and
And there's hypnotherapists out there offering free
mhm,
sessions and
there are.
offering free recordings to help calm. And so
Hmm.
Tina and I did talk about this. I know we do everything kind of. I say that we like to kind of do everything in the moment, so to speak, but we have a general sense of what we're gonna at least have as a topic. And
Uh-huh.
I asked Tina if she thought that maybe this might be the episode that we do some sort of hypnotic journey with you all.
Hmm.
And I of course would love to do it, but I really felt like it was more appropriate for my dear friend to lead us, so that she could kind of get out of herself and do what she loves to do, which is to be of love and service to others. And so, how much time do you need? I just want to be mindful of the amount of time that.
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I do want to get back to your list. You started kind of listing what. So if people are listening and they're wondering, like, of course, there's Google. You can just Google like how to block negative energy. But
Hmm.
like, I thought that we could maybe share our what's working for us, and so you started that list. I interrupted you, and made you talk about you, which I know you don't like to do, but yeah.
I mean, whatever doesn't aggravate you, that's how I kind of go with it. Like if
Mm.
it's something that pumps you up or gets you excited, don't do those things right now.
That's
Don't
a
do those
great
things.
right. That's a great tip. I had a double espresso like an hour ago because like I was up late
Yeah.
last night. I got my 7 hours in, but like I was just not feeling any of it today.
Yeah.
And so I've learned to sometimes just sit on my hands, so to speak,
Hmm.
and to not cause, because when you're in this heightened state of emotions, it's really easy to snap,
Yes.
really
Yes.
easy.
Yes.
I noticed it when I was driving home on the freeway. I have
Mm-hmm.
to consciously practice all the things that we've been talking about for 22
Hmm.
episodes, right? Like I have to be mindful, I have to pause, I have to be watching, I
Hmm.
have to take inventory because like what's underneath the initial fight or flight reaction, there's something
Hmm.
underneath it, which is the emotions,
Fear.
right? And so
Mhm.
um the other thing that I've
Mostly,
go ahead.
I would say mostly fear right now, but okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And
So, and
disgust.
that's
There's some
why
disgust and mismanagement. Like it's easy to be
anger.
mad at you want to blame somebody typically. Is it really Gavin Newsom's fault? Is it the mayor's fault that the no, I mean whoever the scumbag is that like lit the fire. That's where
Oh,
you because
yeah.
apparently somebody was arrested for one of the fires.
Hmm.
And other people are
Hmm.
saying that this is the work of an arsonist, that
Hmm.
this is not Mother Nature, and the this is not a
There's
religious statement of any kind, in my opinion. And if that
Yeah.
offends you, then, you can just unfollow. No problem. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be an arson. It could be arson. It could be whatever, I don't know. I haven't gone in to looking at that. I've been more concerned with other things. I know
Yeah.
they've made some arrests. I know that there was people just randomly starting fires. And shame on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um, you're hurting people. Um, and the people that, are looting, shame on you too.
Yeah. No, that's the next
Um,
thing that's starting. Yeah.
yeah. Don't go around looting. That's ridiculous. There were people that were posing as firemen and evacuating people in certain areas
Wow.
and then looting the houses. How sick are you? I mean, really. Um, these are people's lives that you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Grow up.
So I tend to turn my attention to what I can control, and that's my
Exactly.
thoughts and actions. And
Hmm.
so I've been really tapping into gratitude
Mm.
to like literally the morning I woke up to my nightlight on my next to my bed, and I woke up and I was like, why is it so bright out? And I was thinking I slept till, and but I have blackout curtains because my house faces the sun, and it's like, and my light was on, and I was like immediately like struck with gratitude that I had power.
Mm.
Like when you
Mm.
go a couple of days without power, I got to a point where I was like, is it ever coming back on? Like, is this like, do I need to leave? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I try to be grateful for what I did have, right? I
Yeah.
had I was able to charge my phone and laptop before it all went down, and
Mm.
I was able to use a power bank to keep my phone on low battery mode so I could at least get alerts, which SCE, you failed me, just like the governor and the mayor. Horrible lack of communication.
Absolutely.
The only thing I could
Absolutely.
get in my little area that has no cell reception, and of course no Wi-Fi without power, is I can get SMS text messages. And
Mm.
that's how they
Hmm.
were communicating because it's the easiest signal to send, regardless of the current situation. None,
Hmm.
not a one. I literally had little angels checking on me. Melissa, thank you, and my sister Fran,
Hmm.
checking the SCE website with my address to see what the latest was because the
I love.
watch fire the watch duty doesn't really tell you about your electricity. It just tells you whether you should get the hell out or not,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the
You were dead.
containment level, which is nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh, so being grateful has really struck me. Electricity, refrigerator, like little things, like the
Yeah.
littlest things that I think I think I'm like most people. I take that stuff for granted. I was telling you just you expect the light to go on when you flick the switch or turn the
Yeah.
knob or whatever mode you do to turn a light on. You just fully expect it to be there
Mm-hmm.
without even understanding how electricity works. We just know it's gonna, you know?
Yeah. Mm.
Um, so that's probably the biggest thing that I do and then of course, where you put your attention. So I limit the amount of scrolling I'll do, but I follow the people that I actually want to hear from.
Right.
So I have motivational people, and then everybody's talking about California right now,
Yeah.
regardless of where you live. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of a big deal that's going on here.
Well,
And
yeah.
then if you can get out and do something, like go to a play, like,
Yeah.
it was like a
Hmm.
nice little escape for 2 or 3
Hmm.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yes, it was.
for me, for
Mhm.
not so much for you.
I know I had to leave during intermission, but which is, but I'll see it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it runs until February. So
Right.
yeah.
The name of it is Hotbed Hotel with the Kenyeho. Good luck trying to spell that. Sound it out. Yay as in J. Yo, like it's, yeah. Players. Did you, I
CONEJO.
didn't get a chance to tell you this, but during an intermission after you'd left, I was out kind of reading some of the posters and the billboard. I did not know that that is 100% volunteer,
Uh-huh.
but yet they're giving away prizes and they're like, there's some patron
Yeah.
saints supporting
Hmm.
that organization. God bless them.
It's been there for a very long time. They do it.
67 years, I think they said, which
Yes.
is
60. Yes.
wild. So cool.
Um, yeah, it's been there for a very long time. They are a very good theater. The
Hmm.
way they put shows on, their little gatherings that they have is very well done. And I've seen a few theaters, and they do a very good job.
Great group of people too.
Yeah, wonderful
And people that are
volunteers.
working are volunteer. Everybody's volunteering.
Hmm.
The only money
Hmm.
changing hands is to admission and refreshments.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of it, they're taking donations
Yes.
for
That was the next.
fire
Yeah. They're taking
fire victims.
they'll take donations, period. So
Hmm.
maybe I'll include a link. I know
Yeah.
I had a picture of the barcode, but yeah, maybe I'll share that in the show notes. But
Yeah.
so I'm gonna
Conejo
try,
Valley Playhouse.
huh?
Conejo Valley Playhouse. And it's Conejo Valley Players is what it's called.
Yes. Thank you.
Just so you
Yeah. So
know.
there you go. There's the link.
Hmm.
All right, so we're kind of not running out of time, but I want to be respect. So I feel like that we need to kind of put a disclaimer out there that
If you're
if
driving,
you're
pull over.
driving right now, please just pause the episode and pick it up when you get
Mhm.
home or someplace
Yeah.
that you can be where you can be safe and not be operating any type of machinery whatsoever. If you're out, mowing the lawn or doing a snow blower or you're chopping down a tree, like just please
Just
don't.
please
Yeah,
don't.
because Tina is going to help y'all get into a nice, deep, relaxed state, and you
Hmm.
shouldn't be trying to operate anything other than
No.
like your peace and serenity. So,
No. And you're going to participate, right?
as an audience member, absolutely.
Well, okay. Just making sure.
Absolutely. As I sat in with Cheryl yesterday to jumpstart the new year,
Yeah. Yeah.
I absolutely she can just like hypnotize me, and all I got to do is hear her voice, and I'm
I know. I
just
know. I was
out.
struggling yesterday. I was
Yeah,
struggling when we spent the day at, Jumpstart with the magnificent Cheryl O'Neill,
our
um,
amazing mentor.
the angel
Yeah,
herself. And I mean, I was just so scattered most of the day because I was watching outside, listening to the news, trying to make sure that everything was okay.
right.
Um, but it was nice. The few journeys that she did where I had that few minutes to just kind of, oh, okay, I'm going to relax now just for a minute.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
um,
Tina,
all
ladies and
right.
gentlemen, if you're ready,
Yeah, everybody, just pull over, stop what you're doing.
pull
Please
over,
do not pull
maybe
over, do not
pause and
operate
listen later.
anything. Pause, listen later, find somewhere comfortable to sit. Take a big deep breath. And I'd like you to just close your eyes and just simply follow the sound of my voice. Just try to focus your attention on your breathing. Notice as each breath enters and exits your nose, as it exits out your mouth. I want you to imagine and visualize sitting in a very lush green field, noticing the trees and the foliage. You see the sky, perfect blue. Become aware of your surroundings. Really see yourself there. And as you see yourself there, imagine lying back down and looking up at that sky. Notice that there are clouds moving at a very steady pace across the sky. See if you can focus your attention on your thoughts. And as you become aware of a thought, put it on a cloud. Watch as it floats across the sky. Just try to put each thought you have on a cloud and watch it as it goes by. If you notice that you're no longer viewing those thoughts and those clouds from a distance, but rather you're caught up in it. Gently bring yourself back down to that field, lying back down, gazing up at the clouds, and putting each thought one by one on a cloud. And as you're just settling your body down and you're allowing yourself to be in a very comfortable position, relaxing into the solid structure beneath you, just for a few moments, letting everything go. Don't worry, it'll be there when you return. Only paying attention now to your breathing and just being appreciative of the breath that moves in and out of your body. The eyes close down and relax, following the breath in and out of the body. You can allow your eyes to roll up underneath your eyelids as you take a nice big deep cleansing breath in and hold it for a moment or two, and then very slowly exhale as the eyes return level. Your natural, normal rhythm of breathing begins to occur. And then once again, eyes roll up underneath the lids, taking that second big, deep cleansing breath in and hold. And then slowly exhale as your eyes return level and your normal, natural rhythm of breathing returns. And one more time, eyes roll up underneath those lids. Take that third big, deep cleansing breath in and hold. And slowly exhale. The eyes return level. Your normal breathing returns. And giving yourself permission to take this opportunity to become calm and peaceful and comfortable. Beginning to get a sense of that nurturing sensation that flows all around the crown of your head, circling around and dropping down over your forehead, your eyes, your eyelids, your nose, your mouth, the jaw muscles, all the muscles in the face, releasing across the back of the head and down the tiny neck muscles, releasing and flowing right into that calm comfort, those shoulders, releasing and letting go whatever you've been carrying around with you. The shoulders soften to become more pliable and flexible, and those burdens can just slide right off, even if it's just for a moment. Just letting them go. This is that time, the let them go time, where you can drift deeper now. And deeper you go, the more comfortably calm you become. And the more comfortably calm you become, the deeper you go. And so down through the upper arms, lower arms, hands and fingers, releasing and letting go right out through the ends of the fingertips. Any unwanted negativity of any kind from yourself or others, or that you've taken in any situation, you let it just flow right out into the universe. It can no longer harm you or anyone else. That comforting, continuous flowing all around and all through. Now across the upper back, flowing that comfort across and down the spine, strengthening the spine, getting a brand new page for a new day, a clean slate, a more releasing and more letting go, and deeper down into that lower back area where all the muscles, tissues, and fibers are soothing and smoothing out any of the rough edges, just becoming even more comfortable and even more calm as the sensation flows all around and all through. The chest area, as though every nook and cranny of you opening up to receive and allow the comfort, the calm, the compassion, the love, the something more that you've been needing and wanting. It's there. And down through the solar plexus, all around, through the stomach, with each breath, taking you deeper down the thighs and into the knees, down into the calves and ankles, heels, through the soles of the feet and out through the toes and all around. Some people just only need this from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, to the ends of your fingertips, calm and comfort all through. One more nice, big, deep cleansing breath in and release to become twice as comfortable as you are now. As I count backwards from 5 to 0 at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Deep sleep. You can just sort of let it all go and just take a deep rest once again. Begin to open that door of the subconscious mind, allowing yourself to relax and become very comfortable. As you look through that door, you get a sense. It's a beautiful day out there. It's just sort of around the corner. Maybe it's the beginning of spring in the subconscious mind, where everything is beginning again, beginning to blossom, beginning anew, just simply beautiful. Maybe it's a beautiful day for a walk. As you step through that door, you begin to recognize it's unknown this way. It's an unknown path. It's something new. And you visualize you looking to the right and to the left and sensing what's new to the right and what's new to the left. Noticing all that is there, that sort of fresh start, that breeze that gives you the smell of spring or the scent of flowers, knowing that it's new, it's safe. You're very comfortable and calm walking along, noticing everything out in nature. And then, as if you already kind of noticed the breeze, it seems to turn a different way, seems to bring something different. And all of a sudden, the wind shifts, and you find yourself actually on a new path, something unknown, a path not recognized, but taken and excited to still feel secure and comfortable, noticing the sound of a brook, maybe the water running to the left, noticing the path is sort of right alongside the brook. But as you take a look, it seems to, down the way, turn into a stream, and then maybe into a river, and then out into a larger body of water. The path slightly inclines, and up you go comfortably. It's not very steep. You're making your way and noticing it all, taking it all in. Any and all of your senses are heightened and brightened. You're slightly moving along this incline. You're noticing now the brook is further down and much larger. It's a stream. And just as you're coming to the river part, you notice on the incline, right sort of in the middle of the path, right up ahead, is the most magnificent tree. It spreads its branches up high. There's a strong trunk and is deeply rooted into the earth. You come closer and closer. And now that the stream has definitely turned into that river, you're standing there before the tree of magnificence, kind of marveling at it in its grand size and its ancient wisdom, noticing the bark. The strength of the tree seems to emanate a gentle power. So now you turn to the right and move above the tree and begin to notice what's around the tree. You look, what is there under the tree? Maybe it's a cardboard box. It just comes to you. You open the flaps of this box, just like all those things that, well, some of them that you've left behind. There's more there that seems to be caught, pouring out of you. It's stuff that's no longer needed. You can move ahead. You just sort of kind of thumb through it. Maybe you see the negative thoughts or something that's not wanted anymore, the wayward thoughts, the stress, the tension, it all goes into that box. It's for the stuff that you don't need anymore. And you just let it be there. There's a little insignia that stands for biodegradable. So it comes to you. You could just get rid of this box. You could get rid of all this negative stuff. You pull the flaps back together, make sure everything is out of you that is negative, and into that box. There's rope and cord tape, and you tie it up and you tape up the box and it's nice and tight. And you walk over to the river. Now, you decide you're going to toss all that negativity into that river. Toss it in and it hits the water, makes a big splash, and it begins to dissipate and disintegrate all those negatives. You watch it, or what's left of it, as it floats and dissipates through the river into that larger body of water. The ocean of no time. It's a no time experience. Just like that, a snap, the box, the stuff is gone. The negative is gone. And as you turn around, you look at the tree again and you can't help but smile because there's something really going on here that you're not quite sure about, but you're interested and you're wanting to know more. And so you put your hand out to that tree and you feel its bark, rough to the touch. But as you put your hand on it, it's like you can feel the tree. You could feel the tree breathing. You can feel its energy. So you turn around and you kind of push up against the tree. There are some roots at the base of the tree. They're all cropped and gnarled way down into the earth. You stand in between those roots and you get your whole body back against the tree. And then you start breathing in sync with the tree. You look down at your feet by those roots and you feel the strength of the roots reaching way down deep into the earth. And for a moment, to even imagine, could your feet and legs reach down into the earth? You begin to feel yourself more with the energy of the tree and the earth, breathing along within its rhythm. As you begin to look back up, you can feel your arms moving up like branches of the tree, lifting up to the sky, and almost it seems like beyond. And you're looking up through the new buds and the new leaves. The leaves are filtering in little pieces of sunlight, filtering through the trees, blue patches of the sky, and feeling lifted. You feel connected to the energy of the tree and above and the rooted deep earthy energy below. And it begins to set up another kind of rhythm within you. As you breathe with the tree and it begins to breathe with you, you're suddenly feeling that circle of energy. It's coming through you to the tree and then through the upper branches and out into the air. A golden circle that you're breathing in. It goes through you, up through the tree and out through the branches in front of you. And the golden circle flowing within the tree and out into the air, the golden circle, the energy, the alignment, the attunement. This is something that really lifts you as breathing in that golden circle of energy is flowing through you. The tree, you feel lifted and ignited, a feeling of wonderment, the wonderment of something more in your subconscious. So taking flight, a higher experience that is also more deeply rooted as your arms come down and you begin to slowly scoot down and sit in the base of this magnificent tree. You begin to realize that there is something more, seeing something that glitters right in front of you. It's a glint of something, seems to have just begun some spark of positivity. It's a feeling you feel all around. It's the positive expectation of what could happen, what could come of something great, just a moment. There's a sensing that there's something more for you. There's something more that you want. There's something elevated, whether it's you doing something or being something, or you bringing something more to you. You have an elevated conversation with somebody. Maybe you are connecting in some other way that you haven't connected before. The tree, you, your breath, the river, the universe, it's all connected. So, in full belief of a positive expectation to draw to you, you realize that what you expect where you put your energy. It all matters. So staying in that positive expectation, unlocking the power within you to become, to be all of what you want to be. The confidence, the self assurance begins to rise, and you can no longer just sit under the tree. You know that you have made a manifestation. You stand up tall and strong just in that moment, tall and strong, that you're at the top of your symbolic staircase. And as you thank the tree, you appreciate the tree and you see yourself. The tree, the forest, the brook, the stream, the river, they've all faded. And as you unlock the power again and again, the power within you to create more self confidence, more self assurance, more belief, more positive expectation, you want to reinforce all of those ideas, reinforcing all those positive ideas into the positive domain on a positive path, knowing that this day is unlike any other day. Past is over, done, and gone. Negatives dissipated and gone. Today is yours, this positive path that you're on. Continue straight ahead. Positivity, positively on your path onward and upward. Positive intentions, positive energy, positive belief. And this, of course, your positive focus for today. So it's zero, reinforcing all those positives. We're going to bring back with you the good, the positive, the true from this experience into your conscious outer awake life. So now at one, with a big, deep cleansing breath in, exhaling out on two, three, realizing the room that you've placed yourself in, four is more alert, and five, eyes open, wide awake to a non-suggestible state. One, two, three, four, five, eyes open, wide awake.
Wow.
Mm,
Thank you, Tina.
you're welcome. I hope
Yeah.
it helps. I hope
Well,
it helps.
I love listening to you. I know if
Thank you.
like I'll have to ask Carrie this question. So Carrie, I know you're gonna watch this episode. I already told you about it. So I'm just curious, like, do I give Tina enough time to talk, or do I interrupt her all the time? It's one of the Robert traits, by the way. We're a clan of interrupters because we're just
No,
very physical. We're very excited to tell our
I
side of the
know.
story.
I know. No, I hope everybody enjoyed that.
Yeah, so I love you. I love listening to you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for that. So I'll ask you as the share of the journey, full permission to let people share this and pass it
Absolutely.
along. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
tempted to try and figure out how to carve that out as just a part, but I'll just put a minute marker so that people
Yeah.
know where to go to start.
Hmm.
I know there's a way to do
Yeah.
it in YouTube. I'm not a
I think
YouTube
you can.
expert by any means. Are you?
I, well, I try to be. I can. Let's see if I can do it. But yes, and you full permission, share,
All
follow,
right. It's our gift to
whatever.
you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. And
Awesome.
if you are suffering, give us a call,
Yeah.
send us an email.
You're
We'll be
not
glad to
alone.
help.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
probably the nicest thing that I feel out of all this is that there even amongst a bunch of people at the theater that I didn't know, there was this togetherness and this
Yeah.
camaraderie and that's just
Mhm.
theater people in general. I love people from the theater. But no, but I think it's a good representation of the community at large banding
Yeah.
together. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
permission to like, follow, share,
Absolutely.
oh, I did have a request for a future show topic.
Oh, really? What is the topic?
It's around Valentine's Day
Mm,
and
okay.
kind of it's in conjunction with like the broke picker and just all the
Mm,
feelings and expectations and everything that comes up around that time of the year. So just put a
okay.
pin in that.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm down.
right on. I
I'm
know you
down.
are. Of course you are.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Absolutely.
I love you.
Love you. Glad
Gonna
you're
be
safe.
okay no matter what. No
Absolutely.
matter what.
No matter what. You can choose to thrive. You can.
Choose. Choose wisely. All
Choose
right.
choose wisely.
So,
Our
as they
subconscious
say
speaks.
around here,
Our subconscious speaks. The question is, are you listening?
I am.
Love
I love you. Thank you.
you. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.